And on this Thursday, July 16th, 2026 edition of Newsmakers, Amnesty International UK is expressing regret after publishing a report that labeled the Catholic Bishops' Conference of England and Wales and other Christian organizations as anti-rights groups. The report identified 117 organizations it claimed were undermining the rights of women and LGBT plus people before being temporarily withdrawn. Amnesty says the report was posted without completing its normal internal review process and that its language did not reflect its official position. The Catholic Bishops' Conference says it works to uphold the rights of all people without exception. Critics of the report welcomed its withdrawal and accused Amnesty of unfairly targeting Christian organizations. A Tennessee pastor says IRS agents searched his home as part of an investigation into allegations of financial mismanagement in his leadership at Global Vision Bible Church. Pastor Greg Locke told his congregation that more than 50 agents entered his home at another location during an early morning search and seized electronic devices and bank statements. He says Global Vision Bible Church has since received a subpoena. Locke says he denies any wrongdoing and believes he will be cleared. Federal officials have not released details about the investigation, and the U.S. Attorney's Office says it cannot comment at this time. A Texas pastor is facing federal fraud charges after prosecutors accused him of using church entities to steal more than $3 million from donors. Court records show 53-year-old Richard Ronaldo Garcia was indicted on wire fraud, conspiracy, and identity theft charges in an alleged scheme that ran from 2021 through 25. Prosecutors say more than 50 victims in the U.S. and abroad invested in church-related projects and mission trips, believing the money would support ministry efforts. Authorities allege Garcia directed victims to label transfers as donations before using the funds for personal and business expenses. Garcia is set to stand trial in federal court in Fort Worth in October. Children's Hospital Colorado will be back in court next week to defend its stance on so-called gender-affirming care. Families of patients identifying as transgender sued the hospital earlier this year after it decided to end gender-affirming care rather than face potential federal funding cuts. The Colorado Supreme Court ordered the hospital to resume such care, but doctors at the hospital have reportedly refused to comply. Attorneys for the families have asked for a contempt ruling against the hospital, wanting to impose a $50,000 daily fine until care is restored. A meeting to schedule a hearing on the motion is set for Monday. The European Evangelical Alliance is raising concerns about European Union migration rules that expand detention powers for migrants facing removal. The updated EU return regulation allows longer detention periods, permits detaining families with children, and establishes return hubs outside the bloc. The EEA says the changes could disproportionately affect vulnerable asylum seekers, including Christian converts who often rely on personal testimony. It says security and compassion can coexist while securing borders and combating human trafficking. The group is urging European leaders to maintain legal safeguards, protect vulnerable migrants, and ensure independent oversight during implementation. And that's Newsmakers for this Thursday, July 16th, 2026 edition. I'm Keith Black.